And this is a Fox News alert. 9 days to go until Election Day 2010, and today party leaders came out swinging as hundreds of candidates start their run down the home stretch. Both RNC Chairman Michael Steele and DNC Chairman Tim Kaine played the role of political forecaster, but as you can imagine, each leader predicted two very different outcomes. We'll have the very latest on the key races coming up. But first, let's head out to Geraldo Rivera, who's at Bagram Air Force Base with the troops of the 101st Airborne. Geraldo?
Hi, Kimberly, and welcome everybody to Bagram Airfield. When I first came here 9 years ago, this was a dump, a rundown facility left over by the Russians. It has changed a lot since then. It is now the home, the heart of the surge here in this country, and the surge is being led by the men and women of the legendary 101st Airborne. They are taking the fight to the enemy, and we are here celebrating not only their fully deployed surge, but also the fact that they're doing some great work here in Afghanistan, and they want very much for their folks back home to know that. We have some really important questions to ask these soldiers, and I'm going to do it right now. First of all, I want to ask, can you give me a hoo-ah? Nice. Now, can you tell me whether or not you want to go home? But are we going to win this damn war? It is amazing how they have turned the momentum around here, ladies and gentlemen, where before we were hunkered down in our bases when the Taliban had the momentum and the government in Kabul, the central government, was totally in disarray. Now these soldiers, these troopers are taking the fight. There is no longer any safe haven in this country. And when you hear the energy, when you hear the courage from the throats of these screaming eagles, the legendary 101st Airborne Division, you know that our best and bravest are fighting this fight. These are our rock stars, ladies and gentlemen. These are the soldiers who will get us out of this mess here in Afghanistan. Their leader is Major General John F. Campbell. He's a man I met in this country way back in 2003 when he was a mere colonel. General, some big questions. You took me out on a tour. We went to Haqqani, the mafioso Taliban's hometown. That's changed a lot. Do you sense a change in momentum?
Absolutely, Geraldo. For the last 4 months here, the 101st Airborne Division, 10th Mountain Division, 86th, the 173rd, all of the units of the Coalition Joint Task Force 101 have been here. I think we've stopped the momentum of the insurgents. We're turning this thing around. We've got great soldiers here. I'm glad you can come here to showcase them today.
All right, well, we go out there on the tour. Let's see some of what General Campbell showed me. Roll it. A British watchtower from 150 years ago. They've been fighting over this turf since then. That can't give you any sense of optimism that we're going to make a historical change here, but I guess it's incremental. Do you feel that we're making a difference?
Yeah, I think every single day we're making progress here. We brought in additional folks here. We've had a surge brigade come in. I think security has been improving every day.
Are you up against an ideological enemy here, Colonel, or are you up against the mafia?
A little of both, but primarily the mafia. It depends on what part of the country. And here in Host specifically, it's Haqqani. And he's more mafia than he is a movement. We are on what he considers to be his home base in Coast. We kicked him out of here, and he wants this back. And so for him, it's more about territory than it is about ideology.
The business is very good, and the security is good as well.
Host is a city of about 200,000 people. Once a hotbed of insurgency. Now its main market is relatively secure. The shop's well stocked, and the chief of the bazaar almost eager to have the Americans gone.
The only thing that people don't like is that the U.S. forces conduct operation alone without Afghan security forces. He said that we have governor here, we have security forces, so we should have our security forces should conduct the operation, not Americans alone.
We hear that every once in a while. I just don't think they have the visibility. We don't do patrols unless it's joint.
And the whole idea is to hand it over to these fellows.
Absolutely. We're uptaking the mentors and the advisors at all different levels, at the provincial level, at the district level. We're going to work hard on the police. We're providing them up-armored vehicles so they can get out and do more patrolling. I asked the police to do 3 things. around the district center. One is to treat the people with dignity and respect. Two is to get out at nighttime and walk around at night and intermingle with the people. And then three is to make sure that they go around with and learn as much as they can from the coalition forces as they go through that, and then to protect their district center. Many times district centers are out in the remote areas, they get attacked. Sometimes they throw down their arms, they run out of water. And then power is another concern that all the vendors have talked about here. We've got to get at that as well.
And General Hakeem, you have a situation where you want to be in control of your own country, but I'm sure that you appreciate the fact the Americans are helping you get to a place where you can do it on your own.
Hopefully, with the help of God, we will be able to secure the province by ourselves, hopefully very soon. But we are very happy that we have the U.S. forces with us. And the big achievement that we have here, that people of the local people are supporting us here. Whenever somebody or enemy infiltrate into the districts or the city, the people quickly report to us that we have something going on. That's why we have this is a big achievement for us and also for coalition forces, and we are very happy.
That's like the tipping point, isn't it?
It's going to take the people turning, just like Iraq. When the people start turning, the people are turning in IEDs, they're coming forward with tips. You made a huge difference. The people of Afghanistan are the solution for the future.
In the fight for the hearts and minds, or at least the eyes and ears of the people of Host, the coalition has finally realized that sometimes the media is the message. Funding radio and TV stations and recruiting DJs and TV hosts, they're finally able to fight the propaganda war with the Taliban on a more equal basis.
The insurgents here get out messages very good. Information ops, probably 27, 30 minutes, they put something out. They don't have to get it out with the truth, though. We do. So we're working hard now to make sure we get out the word with the truth very, very quickly. We're getting much better at that.
Back with Major General John F. Campbell, will they ever, the Afghanis, be competent enough to take care of their own problems, their own nation?
Well, Geraldo, it's going to take some time. You know, the Army, just like Iraq, is much, much better than the police. We put a lot more effort on the Army. We're going to, this year, focus on the police. But with combined action with our soldiers day in and day out, 24/7, they get better all the time. So it's going to take some time. But absolutely, we're building the trust and confidence in the Afghan Army and the police for the people of Afghanistan.
You've paid a bitter price, and we'll get into some of that as the program progresses. But do you sense, and you know I trust you emphatically and implicitly, do you believe that momentum has shifted in this fight?
I do, Geraldo, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be here if we didn't think we could get this job done. We got great soldiers. We got great support from our families back home. I think we've turned the momentum. We're going to continue this fight through the winter, through the spring, and I think you'll see some great progress. Every single day there's progress happening here in Afghanistan.
I want to ask you again, we're going to win this damn war? Look at them, folks. Imagine if you were the bad guys and you were looking at them. You would be trembling in your boots. Trembling in your boots. Now, up on the stage there, they call that band Nuts. I'll give you a little background as we go to commercial. The Bastogne Brigade, the Battle of Bastogne, the Battle of the Bulge, we had a 101st Airborne unit there, surrounded by the Germans. The Germans demanded that they surrender. The commander issued a one-word rebuttal to the German ultimatum. That word was nuts. That band is nuts. Play us to commercial, Nuts.